Hi folks, well it's Easter Tuesday, and Easter Tuesday was a very busy day. It was a full day for Jesus. After the drama of the temple incident, Jesus obviously stayed the night again at Bethany and then returned, and that day, 2/3 of it seemed to be taken up with discussions and challenges from the authorities, where they were trying to trap Jesus in the conversations that they had with him. Let me read a passage in Mark that brings this out. And this is from chapter 11, verse 27. They arrived again in Jerusalem, and while Jesus was walking in the temple courts, the chief priests, the teachers of the law, and the elders came to him. By what authority are you doing these things? And who gave you authority to do this? Jesus replied, I will ask you one question. Answer me, and I will tell you by what authority I am doing these things. John's baptism, was it from heaven or from men? Tell me. They discussed it among themselves and said, if we say from heaven, he will ask, then why didn't you believe him? But if we say from men, they feared the people, for everyone held that John really was a prophet. So they answered Jesus, we don't know. Jesus said, neither will I tell you by what authority I am doing these things. Classic Jesus, he responds to a question with a question and puts the ball in the authorities' court. And they're trying to trap him and trick him, and he reverses that process because he refers to John the Baptist, who of course, like Jesus, was outside of the main establishment. And both were from Galilee, and John the Baptist was seen as a prophetic type figure, but quite unorthodox, not part of he wasn't an establishment figure. And of course, from Galilee, and Jesus was exactly the same. So here we have two rebels being involved. John was very popular with the people and was considered to be a prophet. The establishment were not happy about this. Of course, they didn't want to come out publicly to denounce him, just like they're not coming out publicly to denounce Jesus, but they're trying to hedge him in here. And what Jesus very cleverly does is put the ball back into their court. But the most important question here, in fact, it's the mother of all questions when we come to Jesus. Who is he? Not just who was he, but who is he? And that's what the authorities are trying to pin down here. And it's a question that concerns each and every one of us, because it gets to the heart of what the Christian gospel is really all about. Now, over my lifetime, there have been countless documentaries where historians try to work out who Jesus was. The problem is that they're all reductionist in the sense that they ignore the gospel writings themselves, they deconstruct them, and then try to look for little bits and pieces that they can put together to make a picture of who Jesus was. Now, I wrote a book last year entitled Douglas, Jesus and Me, a letter to a Christian atheist. You can get it on Amazon if you're interested, or get a copy from me. But I was looking at this question about the Christ and his kingdom, and it's in the last chapter. And I said this. According to various historians, Jesus was possibly an eschatological prophet. That means a prophet of the last days, a wandering cynic, a charismatic chassid, that's just a holy man, a political revolutionary, a religious reformer, a zealot, which would make him equivalent of the ancient equivalent of a terrorist, an Essene, that's someone who withdraws from life awaiting the end, a magician, a Gnostic sage, don't ask, a proto-Pharisee, a rogue rabbi, or even a crypto-Buddhist. Such varied and diverse portraits cannot all be right, but they might all be wrong, or, taken on their own, partially true but inadequate. And in some sense, the gospel writings give us a full picture. The story gives us a full picture of this guy Jesus. And what these historians do, because they're not believers, they don't want to accept that the whole idea of Jesus as the Christ or the Son of God. So therefore, they look for some handle that they can get on. And what they do is they dismantle the picture told by the Gospels of Jesus and find bits and pieces that they then place together to give a specific view of Jesus. But all of them seem very inadequate and quite shallow. But the Gospel writers, in their full picture, give us this account of this amazing guy, Jesus. So, question and challenge. Who is he for us? Who is he for me? We alone can answer that question. Now, think about when you meet someone for the first time. You might hit it off, and it can develop into a very good friendship, a great friendship. But it takes time. Slowly, as you get to know that person, and then as you get to know them, it's unthinkable that you wouldn't have them as a friend. And that relationship deepens. So is the journey of faith. The disciples were on a journey of faith with Jesus, and they were slowly getting to know him. So too for our personal religious pilgrimage. Who is Jesus? Not who was he, but who is he for us today, for now? And the only way we can get a grasp on that is to engage with the wonderful tradition that we have in the Gospels, the story of this amazing guy who changed history and who changed lives then and continues to change lives today. That's the miracle of Easter, because it's about a wonderful, incredible guy, Jesus of Nazareth, who is the Christ. Once again, thank you for watching and listening, and I'll catch you tomorrow.